What's going on, guys? We have Separation Saturday. I'm coining it that. I think everyone else has a different word. I don't care. We do things what we want. So, first thing, I'm going to go and say, like, follow, subscribe, rate 5 stars, share. I'm done doing it at the end of the episode because I always forget. So,
yeah,
share it with your friends, like it, and continue to grow. The Facebook post has been getting people from all over the country, so we just need them people to come hop on.
yeah. That's quite the positive regarding the growth of the podcast. At least it's getting some pub, with those graphics and our rankings on the Facebook post. So they're just getting pushed out. People are commenting and stuff, and man, there's been some people upset about having Penn State #1, haven't there?
Yeah, we're gonna find out tomorrow, or when you see this, it'll be tomorrow, but we'll find out Saturday.
Yeah.
So we haven't done this segment in a couple episodes. Question from the audience. We were asked by your buddy Garen if you want to shout out his podcast real quick.
Yeah, down there in DeLand, Florida, Easy Livin', Livin, no G, Easy Livin' Sports. His podcast, buddy of mine from back in the day. Still buddies, all that kind of stuff. But he posed us a question. Posed us the idea of what we thought regarding the rest of the season for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and whether or not we were going to have to basically outscore opponents offensively, because Nebraska has clearly gotten better offensively, but then the tackling woes and the defensive woes that we saw last week, and he wants to know what our opinion is moving forward of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So you want to kind of start off with your point?
Yeah. So first off, I think a lot of Nebraska fans are overthinking that this is going to be 2012 West Virginia under Holgerson, where you had to outscore everyone 50-40.
Yeah.
A lot of the mistakes in the Michigan game are correctable. The missed tackle, and Rule has been on this since fall camp. Tackling's going to take a while to get caught up because you can't tackle in fall camp. Because you're only allowed 6 full padded practices before the first game.
Yeah, I do have a counterpoint to that. Yes, you are bound by those restrictions and all that kind of stuff, but my thought process is that it's not bothering other schools. Some of them are really good tackling school. I mean, look at South Florida, the way they tackled the very first game out of the gate against Boise.
But how many of those schools are like what we talked about with Indiana the other night? They're returning so much depth in guys that have played a lot of football.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously Indiana's got that veteran roster, and the Huskers are pretty young.
Yeah, and LSU veteran, not Clemson, they're god awful. Alabama veteran, Georgia, all these teams that are tackling well, they're veteran teams. Or this is a little off topic from what we're talking about. You sent me a post yesterday. The top 7 teams in the country right now are the top 7 NIL teams in the country. They spent the most money.
They were the top 7 recruiting classes of the portal.
Yeah,
I think is
so
what
it's
it was.
Guys that have played a lot of football.
Yeah, yep. So I guess referencing. I mean, when you're starting we're starting a lot of young dudes and relying on a lot. But the thing that was who's our most experienced group defensively? Who's Nebraska's most experienced group defensively?
Defensive backs.
Okay, so who I would argue that that group had the worst struggling day in terms of tackling.
Yeah.
In terms of coming up and filling run fits and all that kind of stuff. So,
but can I add something onto that?
Sure.
Who's been Nebraska's best run fit safety?
Well, that's probably Deshaun Singleton.
Or
I don't know, Malcolm Hartzog.
who's been out the last 2 games?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be Hartzog because I didn't see
Yeah.
him play. I didn't even know he was supposed to be
He's
out.
hurt,
Honestly,
and there's been talks of him taking a medical red shirt. Like, he might
well,
be
that's
done.
not good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I mean, if you're, I guess, sure, but
Yeah.
it's next man up. You know, like we talk
Well,
about Indiana all the time, like
yeah.
in the expectations and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and now that should be the same at Nebraska.
Yeah.
So, in reference to Garen's question, moving forward, I don't necessarily think that it's going to have to be games that are won as shootouts because I do think that Michigan's roster poses a bigger threat offensively than we want to admit.
Yeah.
And especially in their run game, like Justice Haynes and that offensive line, like that's a problem, you know, especially now that you have Bryce Underwood and a potential, like,
Because he
you
can run.
know, because he can run. You know, look at Memphis. Look what Memphis has done on offense. And like if Brandon Smith can't run, or
Lewis, yeah.
Brandon Lewis can't run the ball with Memphis in that scheme, like they don't beat Arkansas. It's just, you know, and that's that out of dimension. And I know Garen knows this. You know, huge background in football. His dad actually played for the Huskers. So in any case, like I just don't see the teams on the Huskers schedule that are going to be like, other than USC, but in Penn State maybe, but like offensively, the most skilled group is going to be USC on the schedule,
and it might be defensively. We'll jump into that when we talk about USC.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll save my comments about USC, but basically to finalize my answer for that, like I don't necessarily see us having to win games via shootout. I still think our defense is good enough, and I think that was proven against Cincinnati, and I think we'll actually see my comment kind of be brought to fruition, I guess, to the tomorrow or Saturday when Cincinnati plays Kansas, like, and they start rolling up offensive yards like crazy throughout the Big 12. Like Cincinnati's offense is going to be one of the better offenses in the Big 12, and in all estimation, I guess. And so I think the defense plays well, and I don't think the running games are as tough around the Big 10 as we traditionally would assume either.
And like Michigan, that's been their bread and butter since Harbaugh. They run the damn ball.
Yep. I mean, if you really think about it, like when I was dissecting Memphis's, I'm gonna compare Memphis and the way they beat Arkansas to the way that Michigan beat Nebraska here for a second. So Michigan did it in big plays, right? So they had the 79-yarder, they had another big one, a 75-yarder, a 39-yard run by the quarterback, and then they had the 50-some yarder by the backup running back.
Yeah.
You know, so big plays. Memphis, on the other hand, I went through all of their drives against Arkansas, trying to get a better idea of what Notre Dame should do this weekend against Arkansas. Yeah. Memphis had 12 or 13 plays of runs that were 10 yards or more.
Yeah.
Like, Michigan didn't do that to Nebraska. You know what I mean? So, like, I think, and the difference in that is that, like, yes, those big, long runs make the yards per carry, like, really big, really quick.
Yeah.
And it kind of skews the numbers, because if you take those 3 runs away from Michigan, then they weren't at like 7-8 yards a carry. They were like just under 5, I think. And in Memphis's case, you don't have runs to take away because there were so many runs that were 11, 9, 10, you know, like, I mean, there's a difference there when it comes to offense and how to gauge that, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I also, on the defensive side of things, if there are struggles per se, I do think that Rule's a defensive coach, so we might see him start helping out more in the defense, and B, we'll see a slowed down offense to keep the defense up.
What's that? You're kind of cutting out on your mic there.
Oh, I was saying, um, the other thing is we'll see Holgerson will run a slowed down offense to keep the
Oh yeah,
defense off the field.
sure. Okay. Yeah, and the other thing here, I think like obviously the group is still undergoing a new defensive coordinator too. Like there's still some time that people need to we as in all of us that dissect college football have to understand that when new coordinators come on, like that learning curve is typically still ongoing throughout the season, like even late into the season, because there's certain things, and I know that they want to talk about how the verbiage is a lot of the same and blah
Yeah.
blah blah, like, but at the same time, I've been a coach, Garen's been a coach, like people still like to tailor things to their own ways and understanding. So just because you tell the media that like we're not changing verbiage and we're not doing this to make it, like the coach speak thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
how true is it? Like you could be saying that and that's just for the finer details, but like overall or the major details, but the fine details could be completely worded different and like just the little, it's the college game, so it's different and I just think it's probably worth noting that they're still on a learning curve,
Yeah.
whether we want to admit it or not.
Yeah. And these things always come up with teams lose. It's always the end of the world. I mean, Alabama
Yeah.
wanted to fire DeBoer 3 weeks ago. So
Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy? Like I want to go back and look at those episodes from when we were talking about
yeah,
how like toxic positivity.
yeah. So now another thing he mentioned, like 8-4 is still a good season, and I completely agree. It's
I
upward trajectory.
So he has said this to me personally too. You're referencing Garen, right?
Yeah,
So Garen, you've said this to me multiple times in a text conversation, and I know that I told him that if I heard him say that one more time, that I was going to send a slap a guy to his door. So, so I was like, I don't necessarily agree with 8 wins being a step up with this schedule and the way that it's turning out. Like Michigan State's turning out to be like UCLA, Minnesota gets blanked by San Diego State,
Cal.
like, oh yeah, Cal did, but they got beat by Cal. So so same thing, right? In my opinion, and like the schedule's not as daunting as we thought it was, what it could be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
So I personally think 9 wins has to happen. I mean, does it have to happen? No. I mean, we're not gonna go all scorched earth and be like fire rule. Like I just think it'd be a disappointment to me to only see 8 wins.
see, and I've been saying 8-4 since the beginning of the year because
But that was with Minnesota and us kind of buying the whole idea that they were pretty good.
That and we can't count the Nebraska beating Iowa until it happens.
That's true. And Maryland actually is a little better than we thought too. So, okay, I'll give you that. I still think it's gonna be. I still think it's gonna be. It's gonna be 9 wins. I think the USC Penn State game are gonna be the real,
Yeah.
and we'll kind of get an idea. We will get an idea because Michigan goes to USC in two weeks.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll have a really good idea of what to expect out of USC once we see them take on the Michigan Wolverines.
So there is your 14-minute answer, but probably not the answer you were looking for, Garen.
Yeah, we tried. We really tried.
Yeah. So you've been talking a lot about Memphis, Arkansas, and that is our first game on the board for this weekend. Notre Dame is they're a 4.5-point favorite heading to Fayetteville, Arkansas this weekend.
Who is? Oh, Notre Dame? Yes. Yeah. Duh. Okay. Like, what for the way you worded that, I was kind of like, wait a second. Am I living in a time loop?
No.
So, okay. Memphis, this is part of the reason why I went and counted up all these runs. because I built my DraftKings lineup this morning, and the Notre Dame Arkansas game is on there, obviously, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, Memphis had 290 yards rushing against Arkansas. Now, granted, like you and I know, and everybody listening to this probably knows, the quarterback run game makes a different dynamic. It's easier to rack up yards against a team when you have that added element to your offense. Notre Dame does not have that added element to their offense. CJ Carr is not going to take the ball or bring the ball down and start running all over the yard. But I would also challenge you with the thought process that Jeremiah Love is still the best running back in the country. Maybe Jonah Coleman has something to say about that, but and he's going to get 20-25 touches anyway, and the offensive line for Notre Dame is better than Memphis.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to say Notre Dame line's better.
I made sure to build my roster around Jeremiah Love because of that fact, and that's why I like Notre Dame, because their defense is also good enough to stop the Arkansas offense.
So, for Arkansas to win this game, Taylor Green is got to do everything, because they're not winning this game if it's played in the 20s. Now, if this game goes to the 40s, I like Arkansas, but I think it's going to be a slowed down, methodical 3 yards in a cloud of dust for Notre Dame, because they know they need to keep Taylor Green off the field, and they have a good running game. So I'm going with Notre Dame to cover.
Notre Dame's backup running back Jadarian Price is going to get 15 plus touches in this game as well.
Yeah,
and that they're gonna. I mean, they might run the ball 45 times, like it very well could. And I'm kind of now like now I just want you to pay attention to what you said about Taylor Green. Why don't you say that again? For Arkansas to win, he's got to do what?
Everything.
Oh, so similar to what Tulane and Jake Retzlaff needed to do to beat Ole Miss.
Yes.
So I expect a 37-13 type game, Notre Dame.
Yes. Also,
I'm not falling for this trick again.
No. Taylor Green has been limited at practice all week.
Oh yeah, dude. You go into Memphis and you're going to come out bruised up.
Yeah. So they said he's been slowed down, hampered. So we're not going to be getting 100% Taylor Green.
No, and they just don't have the guys to yeah. So whatever. Let's move on.
I wanted to add one more thing about why I like Notre Dame.
Okay.
CJ Carr, they got the road test out of the way for him. He's played at Miami, so this isn't going into, first road game for CJ Carr or anything. Like, I expect the atmosphere to be way better at Arkansas than Miami, but it's not like it's a first road game for him.
Yeah, but that road experience in Miami for that opener was ridiculous for a Miami standard. So, I mean, you're not going to top that with the way that what the expectations were in Miami this year.
Yeah,
either.
yeah. All right, big noon kickoff. Got
all right.
USC going to Illinois. USC, when I last checked, was a 7-point favorite.
They are. Where are you? Yep, it's still 7.
Okay.
Yep, as of tonight. So I know that they're going. It's in Illinois, but I still don't. This is one of those lines where I'm just like, why? Like,
yeah.
If Indiana exploited Illinois to the tune of 63-10, then why do we think that Illinois is going to fix their defense within a week span and have to face an offense that might be better?
Yeah.
Like, in all reality, the playmakers, like, this is kind of an interesting comparison because Jaden Mayava going into the year is a better quarterback than Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
Mendoza is now the second best odds to win the Heisman on Bovada. Okay, but Maeva obviously has the talent that's got I think still has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
He has the better receivers technically, but Jacoby Lane's hurt, so that can
He's
be.
playing. He's back.
Oh, he was cleared today.
Yep.
Okay, well that changes things even more.
And then they have Makai Lemon.
Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane, yeah, and then they have those two guys are comparable to Omar Cooper Jr. and Elijah Surratt for Indiana, and then Indiana has two backs. They have Roman Hemby, and then they have Kalen Black. Well, USC has found a run game under Lincoln Riley this year, and they've got Wayman Jordan, and then Eli Sanders. And both of those guys, Joel Klatt put freaking Wayman Jordan into the Heisman race today.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's okay, and so and he made the point, a great point, that when Lincoln Riley finds the ground game, those are his best teams. Now, obviously, when you can do both things well, you're going to be really good offensively. And it was also stated on that show with Matt Leinart. He hosted Matt Leinart. He said that they actually look the part on defense physically now.
Yes.
And something they haven't done in years. So kind of goes back to the whole eye test thing I've been saying the last couple days, or this whole last week, about Indiana's athletes just look the part. Well, so do USC's. So I think that USC goes into Illinois and makes Illinois really contemplate what they're actually doing in life, because I could see USC winning by 14 plus.
Yeah. So the stat I was talking about earlier with USC, last week against Indiana, Luke Altmaier was sacked 7 times. USC leads the country with 16 sacks in 3 games.
Good pull, dude. I did not know that.
Yeah, so they're going to be getting after the quarterback.
And there's probably a level to that they jump out so early on people that they have to throw the ball a little more than they want to, and so there's an opportunity to just pin your ears back and go, But still, 16. Did you say 16 sacks?
Yeah.
Does Nebraska have 1?
I think they have 3 total.
Okay, so yeah. Anyway.
And then on top of that, Brett Bielema's bread and butter has always been the run game. Tell them how many yards Illinois had against Indiana.
I don't know the answer to that, but I know it was
-2.
Yeah, it was not okay. I knew it was stupid small, but it was just Bielema doesn't want to throw the ball, and if you're forced into all that shotgun stuff, it's just not going to be good. I don't see a path for Illinois to keep this within a touchdown. How is this How is this at 7 points? It's not going to be. There's no way it's going to be a push. Even
so, Klatt's reasoning was because it's a 9 a.m. game for USC. That's the only negative he could come up with.
Well, it didn't seem to stop UCLA at Nebraska all those years ago with freaking Brent Huntley at freaking quarterback when we jumped out early.
Yeah.
And they came back and won in Lincoln. That might start slow, but USC will wake up eventually and start pouring on the points.
Yeah, and I feel like this year, USC coach, why am I drawing a blank?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. Does it feel like he's coaching with a chip on his shoulder?
Well, think about it. He was the hottest commodity in all of sports when he left Oklahoma. Remember when everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, he's going to make USC back to the Pete Carroll days," and it has not even come close to that. And so, I would be coaching with a chip on my shoulder to prove that I'm still one of the best coaches in the country.
Especially with all these,
he's become an afterthought. Yeah,
I don't think he's leaving USC. USC is a dream job for most people, but
is it a dream job while it's in the Big Ten?
Yeah.
Because he took that job when they were still Pac-12, obviously. Yeah. So makes a difference with that dynamic.
And he's got the #1 recruiting class in the nation as of right now.
Right, but if you move on to somewhere, are
Yeah,
they committed to the school or are they committed to the coach?
yes. And there's going to
So
be some very high profile. It looks like there's going to be some very high profile coaching jobs. I
yeah,
mean, we were just talking about like, could this be Sam Pittman's final game at Arkansas?
yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, like in this type of year where the SEC is so deep, like sometimes
Yeah,
I'm just like, if you guys are, well, I don't want to talk in circles because I just got done saying this today that like you got to throw history out of it now that this is all the NIL stuff. Like
yeah,
your tradition and programs, like that can't be used as a reason for XYZ moving forward.
yeah,
Like it's just not the same as it was. And so I almost said, well, Arkansas is not traditionally a good whatever. And like, well, I got to stop myself saying that because then I'd be contradicting to what I said earlier. It
yeah,
could be, it might not be, but it's clearly not going to be at a year where they're in the top half of the conference. I
yeah.
guess is my
Especially
point.
with the Walton family living in Fayetteville, Arkansas, they're going to have money.
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of those things I keep hearing about this. Like, who doesn't have money? Like, at this point in time,
Wisconsin.
well, yeah, I guess
Well,
yeah.
now that Big Cat's getting involved and getting Chinese money involved, Wisconsin might become a player.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that's even being thrown out there as a reason to be, like, hopeful.
Yeah,
Think he
Iowa.
care? Think that
Iowa
guy?
spent their whole budget on a FCS quarterback
Ugh, okay.
and wrestling just to have
Well,
it
that's
thrown
all
away.
right. That's a good
Okay,
one.
USC. I think USC covers the 7, and just like Indiana, USC runs going away.
Yep. So we are 2 for 2 thinking the same way.
Yeah, that'll change. I hope.
What's
Um,
next?
next we have. Oh, we're already in the 2:30 window. Um, the Aggies of Texas A&M, 6.5 point home favorites against Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn's coming off the Oklahoma game. Aggies are coming off a bye week after the win at Notre Dame.
Kyle Field's going to be rocking, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Marcel Reed's ready to get back on the field, I'm sure. Like, I don't even see an opportunity for Auburn to win this game. Like, I'm taking the Aggies with the point, or like
yeah.
giving them the points, giving.
Aggies might have the second best receiving group in the country.
I mentioned this today about Mario Craver because he's averaging like 34 fantasy points a game right now on
Yeah,
DraftKings. And 2 weeks ago, I crushed Drew for playing him in a
yeah,
game on Fantrax. Like giving him I was like, what is that play? He's only scheduled to score 11 points, and then like, dude, Mario Craver has been fantastic for them.
and then you got Concepcion on the other side.
Yes, the transfer from NC State.
So no, I'm.
Yep.
I think.
I'm actually gonna watch. I want to watch this game like more
Yeah,
closely because I didn't get to pay enough attention to A&M and Notre Dame because of all the other games I was interested in at the time.
yeah.
Like it was on the other TV and I was kept glancing over, but it was like I need to give Texas A&M a little bit more attention this week.
We'll see if you do because that's at the same time as your favorite team.
I know it, but gosh dang it. Like at some point I know what Oregon has.
Yeah.
I know what Oregon has.
Oh,
Like
I'm not talking about Oregon, buddy.
what?
Oregon's the night game.
Oh, then you duped me there. I don't have times on here. I just have a list. So,
Well,
and they're
okay,
not
we're
in
both
order.
taking A&M. Like we can end it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you talking about Indiana?
Yep.
Okay.
Indiana,
Indiana.
8-point favorites in Iowa City against the Hawkeyes.
That's not near high enough.
Nope.
It's not. It's not near high enough. I just I like Indiana so much. I saw Iowa's defense struggle against the pass against a quarterback that's never been very good at throwing the football. Although I will say Ethan Kaliakmanis is actually a lot better than he had been previously. I just don't see Indiana's defensive line is the best defensive line in the country category statistically,
Yeah.
and they're huge. Like, and when it comes to Iowa football and Illinois football under Brett Bielema, what is the main difference offensively? Like, when it comes to what they want to do as their priority, there is none. Like, they want to run the ball.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell me that Iowa's offensive line is much better. I understand that, like, from a graded perspective than in Illinois, but
and from Cignetti's perspective, because he actually said we're going to see a huge step up in offensive line play.
Right, but that's also, like, it's still one of those things, though, too, that Luke Altmaier presents a way tougher, like, threat throwing the ball than Gronowski does. So, like, what that means is that Indiana's defense has to play slightly more hesitant against the run because of Altmaier's ability to throw.
Yeah.
Now you get to Mr. Dirtball, who has actually played way better. Gronowski's played way better, I will say that. And, like,
do you see he's second in the Big Ten in rushing touchdowns?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. Like, I just think that, like, Indiana can play so fast downhill, and they actually have the dudes, like, so Rutgers had to, like, pit, like, 10 dudes in the box and play, like, they had to play cover one. They played one safety over the top and played man on everywhere else.
Yeah.
And they loaded the box, and it looked, I don't have a great analogy to it. I use the idea of ants trying to get through a brick wall.
Yeah.
You know? Well, this is like, Indiana's like a wrecking ball getting through a brick wall. You know, like, that's the way I look at it. Like, the difference between Rutgers' defense in the box versus Indiana.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's going to be such a horrible game for Iowa. And the stat that's crazy is they haven't hosted anybody that has finished better than 6-6 since Michigan rolled into town in 2022. So take that for what it's worth, but that's why Iowa's so good at home.
Is that only including the regular season?
Well, yeah, because they don't host games in the postseason.
I know. The only reason why I'm saying that is because Nebraska finished 7-6 last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever, but it must be talking about regular seasons. They're not including the bowl game.
Yeah. The one
but Nebraska didn't win the game.
I know.
So, like,
they finished 6-6 and then won their bowl game.
Right. Yeah.
The only caveat I'll say for Iowa is the age-old saying, Iowa City is where top 10 teams go to die.
That has never been a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Only one time. There's only one time that I've ever seen anything crazy happen in Iowa City, and that was when Ohio State and J.T. Barrett freaking crapped themselves because Iowa had sick unis that they've never brought back since.
Oh, no. Go do the research on this, dude. It's crazy.
No.
With how many times they've knocked off top 10 teams.
Yeah, but that's because they don't ever. Oh my gosh, no, I don't believe this at all. I'm done with it.
It's a real stat. It's a real thing.
Nope.
So it's. I was at the game when they knocked off number 1 Penn State.
Yeah, but was Penn State? Oh, dude, like, okay, we got to move on. I can't do this. I can't do this with Iowa and Indiana right now.
I'm just telling you, it's
Indiana's going to score 50, maybe 48. It could. I mean, it's not going to be lower than 48.
Yeah. It's just going to depend on Iowa, how long they can sustain drives.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah, that's true. But
because they got Moulton back last week, so.
Yeah, but they don't have Patterson this week, so.
Yeah.
So they don't have a two-headed monster like they did last week. They only have Moulton.
All right.
So, and he already he's got shoulder issues the way it is.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I'm going Indiana, but I'm just wanted to stay out there.
Good boy.
Watch out for Iowa City, man, it's different.
Duh, it's gross. How can you
Uh,
be? How can you be a Husker fan and like Iowa so much?
the next game, Ole Miss is 1.5 point favorite against LSU. This opened up as LSU as a 1.5 point favorite.
See, I don't have that on Bovada. Like I have Ole Miss staying steady at 1.5,
Okay.
but I did hear that on Klatt or on Joel Klatt show today. He said that. I like give me the father defending his daughter.
Take
Like
the over.
yes, take the over. LSU is going to finally get exposed because they haven't played anybody, and this whole freaking LSU defense thing is nasty. I just want to slap people in the face.
Yeah.
Like, they are not. They have played a crappy Clemson offense. They've played a crappy Florida offense. They have played Louisiana Tech in Southeast Louisiana.
Yeah.
Their defense is going to look good.
Yeah.
You know, like it's going to look good. None of those teams, specifically Clemson and Florida, have been able to score on anybody.
Yeah.
So it's not like LSU's doing anything out of the ordinary.
One thing for LSU is Wes Weeks is back. He got hurt in that Florida game.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it
back.
matters. I think the only thing that keeps LSU in this game is Ole Miss having such a crappy defense for SEC standards.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you
like
think you think Trinidad Chambliss is ready for the moment? Because this is going to be his first big test too.
but it's in Oxford, right?
Yeah.
So like at least you're in the confine. I mean, if this was at LSU, I'd be totally thinking a little bit differently. But like, I just don't. I don't. I mean, LSU's run game is dog water, as the hot word is or phrase is these days. And for something about Nussmeier, there's something about their passing game that is just not clicking either.
Yeah. Nussmeier's playing through an elbow injury.
So
They have no run game. That was the
zero
snap.
run game.
Joel Klatt, you bring up about how Ole Miss has the 111th ranked run defense. LSU's going to run through them. Blah, blah. LSU's run offense is ranked like 121st.
Yeah, worse than the run D for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And I suppose like, and it's one of those things where you can be like, well, okay, was that because they played us? I mean, because Florida's defense is regarded as one of the better defenses in the country. You know, Clemson's was, and that I mean, you're kind of getting a little bit exposure there that maybe they weren't or not. You know, like with this whole Syracuse drubbing. You know, like I don't know. I just don't think LSU. I don't think LSU is it this year, and it's like this is the week we finally get to have somebody like figure that out in the national media. Like, I don't know. Josh Pate seems to have figured it out. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going Ole Miss as well.
Okay.
That's about all I got. I think the next game we're finally going to have a differing of opinion.
Is this we've been the same so far the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ohio State going on the road as a 7.5 point favorite against the Huskies.
I said this morning that this game, like Washington's entire chances rely on how good of a game does Jonah Coleman have.
Yeah. They got a three-headed monster up in Seattle with Coleman, Damon Williams, and Boston at receiver. Mm-hmm. That is very elite.
Well, the one thing you'd get to do, though, it's elite, yes, but that's because you have an elite running game first. So, like, if you take one of those pegs away, which would be Coleman, then all of a sudden it becomes the Damon Boston show, you know, like Damon Williams and Denzel Boston show. And, like,
Damon
then all of a sudden.
Too. And that's
true. You're right. Scrambling is going to be a big deal.
Yeah,
like
escapability.
Yep. I mean, I don't think that Ohio State defense is the same as it was a year ago. I am a believer in Washington's win streak at home. I believe that Washington is one of the more underrated places to, like, difficult places to play in the country.
Yep.
Like, it's overly loud for how, like, for lack of, I mean, not as many bodies are in that stadium as
Yeah.
around the country, you know, like, because of the aesthetics that they have created with those little, you know, those little half roof things or whatever,
Yeah.
awnings. I like I know you're gonna go I know you're taking Washington.
Yep.
The key is I don't think you knew that I wanted to take Washington, but I am seriously this is one of those, like, you might have to come back to me because I'm on the same idea that I was with
So,
Utah Texas Tech a week ago.
The thing that Ohio State has going for them is Washington plays more man-to-man defense than any other team in the country. Probably not the best team you want to play man-to-man against when they have the top 2 receivers in the country. Or the top receiver and probably the best number 2 receiver. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, but the other side to that is, like, while I agree with you, the other side to that is that Julian Sayan's not going to take off and run like Will Howard could.
Yeah.
You know, like, so, I mean, could he still?
This was Sagan's
Yes.
first road test, and we both know how loud Husky Stadium gets.
Yeah, like I just said. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. You bring up quite a decent point there with the man-to-man. Like, nobody can cover Jeremiah Smith one-on-one.
No.
And, like, even if you take a safety and try to bracket him, I mean, to me, if you're Washington, you probably, if you like to play man-to-man, you have to play cover 2 with man underneath.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play a 2-high safety because of Carnell Tate, too.
Yep.
You know, like, I mean, it's crazy because the Washington defense also likes to give up points. And so this game, if Washington's able to score, this could be a game that's going to be like 35-31.
And I think it is going to be a shootout.
Yeah. I just don't see. Oh man. I mean, I could see. I got to go Washington. I have to. It's too many points. It's too many points. Like, you're so disappointed because it's like you want me to.
Well, are you taking Ohio State to win, Washington to cover?
Yes. Yeah. Are you taking Washington outright?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll differ on that. But
yeah, I'm going Washington outright.
Ohio State's winning the game. Like, they're totally winning the game. But Washington's going to make this, like, super close. And then everybody's going to finally be like, oh, geez, Washington has a football team this year because they have not been getting any AP votes.
Hey, what happened the last time Ohio State went to the West Coast? You should know.
Well, I know. They lost to Oregon.
Washington's not Oregon, though.
Well, Oregon's 27-3 in their last 30 games, and 2 of those losses are to Washington. So,
yeah. Yep. No, it's
right.
I think I'm going too much with my heart, not my head. I just think Washington wins this game.
You can't make predictions based off hope.
Yeah,
that's the number 1 rule.
Yeah, except there's just a lot of factors going for Washington, man.
Yeah, there is. It's a great story. It's a great, like, storyline game, you know.
Yeah. Now, if they get this win, does Jed Fish immediately go to the top of every coaching search?
I hope not. I mean, it probably, because everybody thinks, like, especially in the SEC, this is going to be a little bit off topic, but, like, all these jobs, like this Florida job that's potentially going to come open, maybe Arkansas, you know, like all these things, and everybody wants to think that they're just, like, the SEC is so arrogant that they think they can just raid the Big Ten's coaches.
Yeah.
Like, no. That's not going to happen. Like, I just don't see Jed Fish being like, yeah, I'm going to go to Arkansas or Florida, you know, so that way, like, it's, to me, I would rather stay in Washington.
Yeah.
Like, personally, like, I think it's a great atmosphere, and, like, long term, I think Washington's easily going to be one of those schools that would be a top 5 or 6 in the
Yeah.
Big Ten every year. You know, like, because you have to imagine, like, I guess down the road, like, Cignetti will be there for a while at Indiana, but eventually that kind of goes away.
Yeah.
Like, because it's Indiana, so.
And I mean, with Damon Williams only being a sophomore, they start winning some of these big games. Big time recruits are going to want to come play with Damon Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the whole idea by why it was such a big deal to get Dylan Raiola to Lincoln.
Yeah. No, but yes,
Or Bryce Underwood to Michigan, or XYZ example. I mean, they're endless examples. So
yeah, but no, I am going Washington outright.
Okay.
Tennessee, 8.5-point favorite, going to the land of the cowbell against Mississippi State.
Oh,
we believe in Jeff Lebby yet?
So I still haven't even watched part of that Mississippi State Arizona State game. Like, I have it on my DVR, but I haven't and I probably won't end up getting back to it, but Tennessee opened at 9-point favorites. It dropped to 7.5, but now it's back to 8.5. So, like, it's been everywhere.
Yeah.
And, like, initial reaction, I think people are just like, I don't think people think that Tennessee's defense is really all that good.
Yeah.
And I think now you're kind of because especially with the amount of points they gave up to Syracuse in that first week, like, they didn't. But now that Syracuse beat Clemson, and Clemson's still, I don't care what anybody says, Clemson's defense is still pretty good. Yeah. It's not horrible. Like, yes, there's problems there, but Syracuse was able to put points up at a pretty good clip against one of the better defenses in the country. And so I don't think, like, I mean, how well do they think that Mississippi State be able to keep up with Tennessee? Because Tennessee's going to score.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to score, and I think they're going to score a lot. I
think Tennessee's going to run away with this game.
Yeah, I don't see any game. I don't see this game being, like, below 8 in the spread, which of course it's 8.5, with the hook. But, like, I could see like a 20 or a 38. No, I can't. It's gonna be like 38-28 at best. At best.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't even know if Mississippi
give me Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee all day.
Tennessee.
3 games remaining. The third game is. Can we go out of order?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. The nightcap is BYU.
I figured this is where you were going.
Yeah, because I want to save the other two for the last.
Yeah, we don't want to stay. Yeah, naturally.
So BYU is a 7-point favorite going to Colorado.
Okay. So I told you I wanted to talk about this one specifically because we weren't going to even talk about it at all. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because of Caden Salter. All of a sudden, his wheels, like, the light bulb turned on. You get benched, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, oh, I got to, if I want to continue on and be the starting quarterback and all this kind of stuff, I got to freaking buckle down and hit the throws I need to hit. They started using him in the ground game, which is what they didn't do against Georgia Tech.
Colorado's leading rusher.
Yes, dude. Like, he had a really good game last week against. They didn't lose. They beat Wyoming.
Okay, I'm thinking of the Houston game. Yeah.
Well, that was Ryan Staub.
Yep, that's right.
So Caden Salter did not play in that Houston game. So, and this is kind of weird because I've given Colorado more airspace than any Nebraska fan ever would.
Yeah.
But I don't hate Dion. Like, I don't hate him. I don't hate Colorado. Like, I really don't. Like,
just hate their fan base.
Well, they're so fickle, like, they're not like. I mean, I sat at an Oregon Colorado game one time in Boulder, and they literally the fans around me in that one end zone by the locker rooms kept saying to me, Morgan and I, like, just don't beat us, like, because we'd like to stay for the game after halftime. You know, like they said, don't beat us by so much that we have to leave at halftime.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then like Dion comes and they become all these arrogant a-holes, you know, like, and it's like, okay, just enjoy the games, you know, like, I don't know. So
I don't know what to think of BYU.
Well, they're always going to play good defense.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to if they call the right sequencing of plays for Caden Salter. That's literally it. Can Colorado's offensive coordinator call a great game? Because I think Caden Salter's ability to run the ball and what he is athletically, like when he transferred, I was like, oh my gosh, Colorado might be better than they were a year ago.
Yeah.
Like that's what I thought. And then you saw what they did offensively first game against Georgia Tech, and you're like, this is not what I envisioned with the quarterback of what Caden Salter can do with his strengths running the ball. And then they kind of figured it out. And you kind of wonder if you kind of have to wonder if they had to take an extra week to kind of figure out what they wanted to do offensively with Caden Salter. And that's why they thrust Ryan Staub into the mix for one game against a team they probably thought they would roll.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it just backfired. So I actually kind of like Colorado's prospects of being like an upset watch team week in and week out in the Big 12, like playing spoiler.
Yeah.
Like that's weird. I don't like saying that because but again, I don't hate them either. Like I think that's probably a pretty accurate statement is that they're going to play spoiler, kind of like Kansas did last year.
Yeah. Yep. Good example. So, who are you going with?
What's the line again? 6.5?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Colorado. Go the Buffs. I want the Buffs. Okay. It's in Colorado, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me the Buffs.
I'm going BYU.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be the same on every pick.
But Colorado, let me be clear, like I will also take them on the money line. Like not just a cover. I think they win outright.
In that they're coming off that weird like playing BYU in a bowl game too last year.
Well, and here's the other factor: what's BYU's schedule been up to this point?
And that's where I was saying I don't know what to think of them because it's Portland State, Stanford, and ECU. ECU's looking really good right now,
and they did play at ECU.
Yeah,
but so like I was gonna say that's Bachmeier. Is it? But ECU's stadium is not going to be any kind of raucous crowd comparatively. Yeah. I mean, Colorado's not like crazy.
No, they're going to be stoned by the second quarter.
Well, that's Dion's quote.
I know. That's word for word from Dion. Like,
oh gosh, that's funny. I don't know. Like, geez, I just smelling weed every time we have a TV timeout. You know, like
I don't know what happens in the second quarter, but that whole stadium, like, is it like a tradition at the start of the second quarter? Everyone lights up or what?
Yeah, that's funny. Oh gosh. All right, let's go to these next two big games.
All right, Georgia. This line is moved back and forth. Georgia's been the favorite the whole time, but I have it at 2:00 today, 3-point favorite against Alabama.
Every time I have checked, it's always been 3 for Georgia.
Okay, because I know at one point
has it dropped to 2.5?
I've seen it at 2.5, and I've seen it up as high as 4.5. Just across different, not on Bovada, just across different websites.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, so like I only ever look at Bovada.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna mention. I'm gonna mention that I put in a crazy parlay at the end of this show, by the way. But anyway, I'm going like, oh, dude, all the stats about how like Bama hasn't been to Athens. Yeah. Or Georgia hasn't been to Tuscaloosa, like, and vice versa.
Alabama hasn't been to Athens since 2015.
Yeah, and before that it was 2008.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think about.
Yes.
Now, when you start realizing how, like, okay, with 14 teams in the SEC and they were divisions, like, and they only played an 8-game schedule, well, you had 6 division games plus 2 from the crossover.
Yeah.
So then it kind of starts making sense.
They're
But
going to
that
protect their two best brands so that they're playing in
right,
the SEC championship.
right, and so like you had the best team from the East and the best team from the West only pitted against each other in that title game
Yeah.
or a playoff, and so it's just crazy to think, but. Klatt kept saying about how Alabama struggles on the road and all this stuff, which
Yeah.
is true. It's true, but I I just think that Kalen DeBoer kind of needs this. Like he needs this win,
Yeah.
and it's like, and because of the expectations at Bama, it kind of accelerates the need for it more than
Yeah.
like what James Franklin needs this win. Blah blah blah. Like you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
like the process of needing this huge win, it comes way faster for him being in Alabama, and I just have, for whatever reason, like I just don't see them dropping this game. Like I see this being like kind of a nice little like precursor to this great SEC race when it comes down to it
Yeah.
at the end, because ultimately that's what we want to see. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what Paul Feinbaum wants to see, so he can lobby for 6 teams to be in the playoff.
Yeah.
But my gut just has continually told me Bama. It's Bama. It's Bama. Like I just think I'm a believer in Ty Simpson, dude. Look at the numbers he has put
Yeah.
up since the first game. Like
41 of 46.
yeah, and even like I just went through this the other night. Like he hasn't thrown a pick yet.
Yeah.
He has 9 touchdowns, 0 picks. He's as efficient, almost as efficient as Dylan Raiola. He's at 73% completion percentage total.
Yeah.
Like the completion rates that some of these quarterbacks are putting up is astronomical. And
So,
I'm still not sold. I am not sold on Georgia's ability to stop anybody yet,
good thing you brought
because
that up because Jam Miller's back for Alabama.
and well, so is Tim Keenan, the defensive
Yeah,
tackle.
I just said they get their defensive tackle. But you were talking about not being able to stop anyone. Well, now Alabama adds a piece to their run game.
Yeah, that's huge. And like it's a different Alabama offense because it's not with oh my gosh, I almost said Jalen Hurts. Who's the guy from last year? Who was Alabama's quarterback last year?
Yeah, John. Jalen
We're gonna
Milrow.
yes, Milrow. Okay, so like it's not the same offense, obviously, but like this is gonna be this. I mean, look what Kalen DeBoer built at Washington
Yeah.
with Penix, right? So it looks a lot more tailored to that offense, in my opinion, rather than trying to do things that he was trying to do with Milrow's skill set. Like, I just think that like they weren't very prepared for Florida State's tenacity and what happened at the transfer portal with them and the coaching changes. Like, you don't know. There was so
Yeah.
many coaching changes for Florida State, offensive coordinator to defensive coordinator. Like you just
And
don't know. You don't have the
it
tape.
goes back to like sometimes you just run into a buzz saw where everything goes right for one team.
Yeah, and when it's
Like,
on the road for you, it's just one of those things. Like
yeah.
I think that Bama has gotten. This is probably kind of like in the way that I said initially thought that the loss for Kansas State was going to be for
Yeah.
losing to Iowa State. Like that loss to Florida State really probably opened up Bama's eyes to being like, this is not going to be tolerated. Like
Yeah.
this is like, I think all those players understand like that this is Bama. Like it's not something else just because Saban's gone. It's
Yeah.
still Bama.
Yeah.
So
I go
I think it's
back.
gonna be a
Yeah.
fantastic game.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I go back to one stat, and it's why I'm picking Alabama. Kalen DeBoer is 6-0 against Kirby Smart combined. Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning, and Sarkeesian.
That's
So
that's a good one.
yeah, I just go back to that, and so I'm taking Bama.
There you go. It looks like we are thinking the same because
Yeah.
that's where I'm going, obviously.
Now the game that neither of us Paralysis by analysis is what I told you at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, Oregon, and at last check, it was what 3.5 for Penn State.
It stayed there pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, it started at 3 and it actually moved up half a point for Penn State. So,
Okay.
but I'm going to lead this in, and I hope sometime somebody listens to this, cuts our clip, and then sends it to freaking Joel Klatt, because this is like, I don't get very irritated at Joel very often. And you mentioned the same thing, that you were like, he's kind of pissing me off, and then you had your little deal. And it's the same premise, because yours was about the Ole Miss LSU game, and mine's about how he's justifying, like, Oregon's run defense isn't very good. They gave up, if you take the sack adjustments out, they gave up 200 yards of rushing to Northwestern, blah 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 blah. Right? Okay. Well, I texted you this earlier because I went through and I was like, there's no way they gave up that many yards rushing, when I kept looking at the score, and this was a secondary game because I was watching something else.
Yeah.
And it was 34-0 late in the game, and so Oregon gave up 106 yards rushing out of that 179 on the last 2 drives of the game.
Yeah.
Against the defense, against the Oregon's third string. Okay, and 84 of that was on the last drive, because of one play was a 79-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
So otherwise, if you take those anomaly plays, that anomaly stuff away, through the entirety of the game prior to the subs playing in that game, it was 29 carries for 72 yards. That's pretty good run defense, Joel Klatt.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Oregon, and you said it earlier. I'm going to let you take the stat about last year's game. Go for it.
So last year, Penn State ran for just under 300 yards against Oregon. Guess who still won that football game? The Ducks.
Yep.
So, a couple other things, and this is what has me so confused. I don't know where I'm going to go yet. Whiteout game. They've won 6 straight. They've won 8 of the last 9, including they do have a win over number 2 Ohio State in that span. It's one of James Franklin's 2 wins over top 10 teams.
Mm-hmm.
He's 2-17.
Yeah.
So it is a big deal. It's a whiteout game. The other thing, and this is what I texted you, and this is why it's so hard for me to pick Penn State. The beginning of the year, the big 3 teams we all talked about was Clemson, Penn State, Illinois, because of returning starters. I want to add a little bit to that. We talked about Auburn because they return all 5 of their offensive linemen, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just gave up 10 sacks last week.
Yeah.
Talk about Illinois because their offensive line returning all 5 starters. They just gave up 7 sacks last week.
Throw one more else. You can throw another one in there.
Who's that?
I mean, mostly the Nebraska offensive line. They're mostly dudes that have been here and starting and all that stuff, and they gave up 7 too.
So what we're seeing is, just because you're returning a lot of guys doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to be great this year.
Yeah, just because you return multiple starters on a bad position group doesn't mean they're going to automatically be a good position group. Yeah. I've never understood that. Logic, yes.
So, Penn State, are they the next team that's going to get exposed? Because we've seen Illinois exposed and we've seen Clemson exposed. We've seen Auburn exposed.
I think, buffering here for a second. So I think that in a similar fashion, I think James Franklin knows what Oregon has for weapons.
Yes.
And their ability to score, because I don't think that Auburn. I don't think that Oregon has. I'm not going to use the whole idea that they've not shown a lot, because I think
Yeah.
that they have shown a lot of their ability to do things, but I think that they're very conservative in play calling in
Yeah.
these games where you can roll people and then they can also get dudes to get into the game quick, right?
Yeah.
I think they've played three quarterbacks in every game
Yeah.
so far. So I'm
Can
not sure about
Oregon
last
quit
week.
playing state colleges, by the way? Look at their first 4 games.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Montana State, Oregon State, Oklahoma State, now Penn State. Like, come on.
Yeah. So I think that Penn State's going to approach this offensively. I think if they get the ball to start the game, you're going to see them open the game similarly to the way Nebraska treated Michigan. Pulling out a bunch of stuff that they haven't shown, try to get the momentum early and get that crowd nuts. You know, like, because I don't think that Penn State can just like line up and run a basic feel this out type opening drive. You know, like the NFL style, like I'm gonna feel this out a little bit first before I get a little too crazy. Like in Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator is a good enough offensive coordinator and play designer and all that kind of stuff. Like that's just the way I would open it if I was Penn State, even though I'm in the confines of my own home, you know, like I still think it's that big of a game. Like,
and I was thinking, if I'm Kotelnicki, my first play on offense, I'm taking a deep shot, because Oregon's going to be selling out for the run, but you also have a quarterback that's 2 of 9 for passes over 20 yards this year.
Yeah, and that's kind of the crazy thing, because it's not like he hasn't made those throws in his career. I mean, this is third year starting, and it's kind of like,
it's just
like
Penn State can't get receivers, and it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Like, they never have great receivers. Like, if you
Jahan Dotson, probably their last big one.
But even then, it's kind of like that doesn't jump off the page at you either. So kind of like, I don't know. You just wonder what the disconnect is with Penn State and getting wide receivers to go up there. And it can't be weather, like for late year, because like that stuff. I hate when people say like, well, geez, recruiting's hard because of the weather. I'm like, well, geez, if you want to play in the NFL, you better get used to playing in the cold, because a lot of those teams are in the north.
Rule makes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, you want to play in the NFL, then you better get used to playing in cold weather. You don't get to sit down in freaking Miami your entire life playing football. So anyway.
All right. I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to go Penn State for one reason. Jim Knowles.
The defensive coordinator?
Yep.
Okay. Well, he was at Ohio State, right?
Yep.
Well, or it didn't seem to stop Oregon the first time around.
But it did the second time.
You shut your mouth, you dirty little.
He also doesn't have the athletes Ohio State had on defense last year either, though.
Well, that's true. So, all right. Do we got anything else before we call it?
Yeah, you got a parlay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I have this crazy parlay that I picked conference winners for the season in 6.
You were telling me about this the other night.
Yeah, but it was a little different because like that was before the Texas Tech Utah game was final.
Yeah.
And so Texas Tech still is like plus 600. Well, now they're like plus 125.
Yeah.
To win the Big 12. And so I put together a parlay with Bama, Texas Tech, Oregon, ACC winner. Who did I have?
Georgia Tech.
No. I think I even picked Miami in there because I also picked Old Dominion to win the Sun Belt. Okay. And then I added Memphis to win the AAC and UNLV to win the Mountain West. And I only put $5 down on it because if I win like $200,000.
Those are all like things that could legitimately happen.
I know. I was like, I'll throw
Other than
$5 on
the
that.
only one that scares me there is the ACC because it's the best conference in college football.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, I know.
I wanted to pick Florida State, but if Florida State loses to Miami,
AAC.
oh, well, that was hard.
Yeah, to me that's the funnest conference to me. Obviously, we know that they wouldn't stack up in the P4,
yeah,
but
right. Don't sleep on East Carolina. Like they got 2 P4 losses, but I mean, when it comes to conference play, what if they run that table? Like that is a wide open conference.
Rice has been hot to start the year, and we'll find out how they are when they go to Navy this weekend.
Well, and all it takes is one injury. Like, what if Brandon Lewis goes down with an injury? Then all of a sudden, the American Athletic Conference is all of a sudden really wide open.
Well, I was going to say, what if Blake Horvat goes down? But look what their backup did when he did go down.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, 7 carries for 180 yards.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's Separation Saturday, man. I'm excited.
I'm really stoked. I think that it's going to be one of the better weekends, and the following weekend is going to be good too. Like it's just gonna get better and better as the season builds. Like it's
not know the best part about this weekend.
What?
Nebraska can't lose.
I said I didn't say it in those words, but I said to somebody while I was picking up my son from football, I was like, this is the perfect weekend for the Huskers to have a bye because we can all enjoy the other games going on without having to worry about trying to watch the Husker game. Yeah. So
I'm
what
excited.
A great weekend.
I'm going to let you go because I got to take this phone call.
Yeah, I can hear it vibrating.
Yeah. So all right. Thank you, guys. What's up, John? What's up, buddy? No, you're